In 1947, the English writer Dorothy Sayers stood up at Oxford and asked a question that continues to haunt modern education to this day. It's really become the springboard for classical Christian education's growth over these past 30 or so years. Do you often come across people, she asked, for whom all their lives a subject remains a subject divided by watertight bulkheads from all other subjects, so that they experience very great difficulty making any mental connection between, say, philosophy and economics or chemistry and art? Now, I want to encourage you to think about that image for just a moment. A watertight bulkhead is a wall inside of a ship sealed so that nothing passes from one compartment to the next. Of course, this is a fine thing for a ship, but it's a disaster for a human mind. And if this weren't poignant enough, Sayers actually presses the point further. Is it not the great defect of our education today, she asked, that although we often succeed in teaching our pupils subjects, we fail lamentably, on the whole, in teaching them how to think. They learn everything except the art of learning. In case we haven't had the pleasure of meeting before, I'm Dr. Scott Postman. I've been an educator for more than 30 years. And I have to tell you, not much has changed since Dorothy Sayers lamented this pedagogical deficiency nearly 80 years ago. Modern education programs, even some of your better ones, are still organized around subjects. Students take math at 9 o'clock and history at 10 and literature at 11. Each discipline is sealed in its own watertight compartment, each with its own textbook, each disconnected from the others, and I'd venture to say more often than not, each is disconnected from the child's soul. But here's the one thing that every parent instinctively knows. Reality is not fragmented that way. Learning subjects is never a substitute for learning the arts of dealing with the interconnectedness of reality. It's the reality from which our subjects are merely extracted or dissected. Let me give you an example. When Dante wrote the Divine Comedy, he wasn't writing just literature per se. He was writing theology, astronomy, politics, philosophy, and poetry all at once. And that's because that's what reality is actually like. When the medieval builders raised a cathedral, they were dealing with geometry, engineering, music, and worship, all in a single act. The whole of their work was greater than the sum of all of its parts. And that's what a truly humane education is. It's an integrated education. It's an education that teaches students how to see and how to think about reality in all of its layers and complexities, such that the whole of it is always much greater than all of its parts. Now, why am I telling you this? Because if you have a child who is 12 or 13 years old right now, you are standing at the single most important educational crossroads of that child's entire life. These next 6 years, from say 12 or 13 to say 18 or 19, these are the years when a young person's mind and character take their lasting shape. Yes, I know it's true that early development plays a huge part in developing a child's personality, but these are the years when a student either learns to think or merely learns to check boxes and perform the prescriptive hoop-jumping routines of cogs and consumers in the modern world. These are the years when they'll either come to love what's true, good, and beautiful, or learn to love whatever the algorithm serves them next. There's this drum that I'm always beating. I'm continually telling parents every chance I get. Education, rightly understood, is the formation of a human soul. It's the passing down of wisdom and knowledge from one generation to the next, all for a noble purpose. It's where every culture tells the truth about what it believes and what it loves. In the modern world, we have learned how to effectively transfer information from one machine to another. We've learned how to store massive data in clouds and on devices. And just like our machines, modern education has taught students to accumulate disconnected facts while remaining unformed, unwise, and spiritually malnourished. And in an age when artificial intelligence can produce gobs of information instantly and endlessly, the one thing your child needs most is the one thing you can't get from a machine: a humane education. The education of the whole person. An education that forms their judgment, imagination, courage, eloquence, attention, and their wisdom. And that's why this fall, I'm offering something I've spent the better part of my career preparing to teach: a robust, integrated humanities course called The Great Conversation. It's a single course that spans 6 full years, covering the best primary literature of the Western tradition from antiquity to postmodernity, with history, philosophy, theology, geography, civics, economics, art, music, architecture, logic, writing, rhetoric, all woven together the way reality actually holds them together. This course is not a collection of subjects that are confined to watertight bulkheads. It's one ship built whole. In the next video, I'm going to tell you exactly what the Great Conversation is, where the phrase comes from, and what my 6-year course covers, and why a small cohort of students reading together for 6 consecutive years accomplishes something no year-by-year program can ever replicate. Until then, take a moment to ask yourself Sayer's question about your own child's education. Is he learning subjects, or is he learning the art of learning? I'll see you in the next video.